Hey, what is good? What is good? What is good, beautiful people? Of course, you know who I be. Good Dot Mike TV back again, once again with a real one, guys. I don't really want to get into the formalities, but y'all know the rules. Like, subscribe. All of the extracurricular activities should be linked in the description area below. Ladies and gentlemen, we have all heard, and I mean we have all come across the saying, you give an inch, they take a mile. All right? And over time, what I've learned through a lot of relationships that I've seen with foreigners and Filipinas, or just guys and women, period, is there always seems to be a lack of boundaries set. And when those lack of boundaries being set are apparent, you will start to see a lot of men allow their women to get away with things that they should not get away with. Okay. I've been in a relationship for a long time, ladies and gentlemen. Many of you guys know this. My relationship has been solid, and it's been built upon a solid foundation for many, many years. But the reason that my relationship is on such a solid foundation is simply because I had to lay the ground rules for this relationship in the beginning. Okay. I had to let her know exactly what is and is okay and what she could and could not get away with by correcting the behavior when it happened. What I'm noticing a lot with foreigners and Filipinas, and this is whether you're in a relationship with them or whether you're just hooking up with them for long periods of time, is that you fail to set the boundaries in a relationship. And when you fail to set those boundaries, you're actually allowing women to get away with a whole lot more than you probably would in your past or whatever it may be. You're letting them do things that I would actually find alarming and concerning. Perfect example. I know a guy, I won't say his name, in a relationship with a Filipina. Whenever I used to come around and him and his girl were hanging out, clearly she ain't like me. Don't know why. It ain't like I was the guy out here running around with a bunch of chicks or anything. Hell, I got my own girlfriend. Even at the time, she just really had this, she hit your boy with the cut eye. I was like, it's all good, man. Hell, I don't like the hoe anyways, right? That's what I tell him. And I think she hated me most because I was the one always telling him that he should break up with her. I think he probably run and told that. He run and told that I was the one in his ear telling him that he should break up with her. And I was telling him, I was like, look, man, I said, I've never been around a guy that allows his girl to take his phone and just go through it without asking or anything. And I'm not even talking about saying, babe, let me see your phone. I mean, like, kind of basically snatching it. Now, my man, he's a pretty good dude. Much respect to him and everything. He wasn't really doing anything on the side, so he really had nothing to hide. So I guess that's why he didn't really care about the idea of the phone being taken and, the woman taking a view through it or scrolling through his messages, DMs, or whatever it may be. So it wasn't really a big deal for him. But when I saw that, I was like, man, why are you not correcting the behavior? Why are you not, telling her, no, that's not okay? Because you don't do that to her phone, And I bet you if you tried to do that with her phone, she would probably say, what the hell you doing? Or, try to take it back from you. You dig? And I was just having these conversations with him, and I was realizing that my guy is allowing a lot of things in his relationship to consume him. And I'm not sure if it's a manipulative tactic, because again, I'm not in the ends of their particular relationship. I have really respected it and stayed on the outside because again, I can only focus on me and mine. I can't focus on him and his. Okay. So from a respectable standpoint, I would ask him, I'm like, man, are you happy? First question I ask every single man who comes to me, who's in a relationship with a Filipino or in a relationship period, and they want to start complaining about certain things that may be going on in a relationship. First question I ask them, hey, are you happy? First question. Second question, do you have more good times than you have bad times? Yes or no? And from that, we'll start to create a dialogue. And, if you're constantly coming to somebody like me and complaining about your relationship all the time, I kind of feel like you're having more bad days than good. And I'm the type of guy, I'm going to ask you. I say, everything, what's good with you, man? Everything good with you and yours? I'm going to ask because that's a casual question. If somebody's in a relationship, you want to know where your boy's mind state is. And when I'm having these conversations with my gentlemen, for the most part, and I ask them, I'm like, man, are you comfortable? You good? Like, everything good? And they start the conversation with, well, or some shit like that. It's kind of like, I can already tell where this is probably going to go. And it all stems from the simple fact that guys fail to set the boundaries in the beginning of the relationship. I mean, you have got to be able to tell her what is okay and what is not okay. One thing that is not okay to me, one thing that I absolutely refuse to let any woman, I don't care who the fuck she is, even if it's the love of my life, even if it's my mama, even if it's my grandmama, it does not matter. There is one thing that no woman on planet Earth, no matter how much I love them, I can allow them to get away with. And that is hitting me or putting their hands on me. Now, when I was a child, my mama could have whooped my ass anytime she wanted to. She opted not to. My dad did a lot of my ass whoopings when I was young, but they were few and far between because I didn't get in trouble a lot. But one thing I refuse to do is to let any woman put their hands on me in a way that I find to be disrespectful. Even if it's just a play hit, like you smack me on my shoulder because I say something that you don't like if it's a love pat, a little different. But if I see you put a little weight behind it and I feel the sting of you hitting me, oh, I got to tell you about yourself. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck was that? I will literally stop the conversation where it is. I don't care how funny you think it is. I don't care how cool you think it is. I don't care how comfortable you think you are in reference to getting away with things like that. That is behavior that must be corrected. And that's just an example for me personally. How you guys handle those situations is different. If you want to play it off saying, she was just playing, she was just responding to the joke or whatever, that's her, her love taps, or that's her way of, responding to me when I say something funny. For me, I take it as a sign of disrespect because at the end of the day, that little inch that you give them by letting them get away with that, imagine what they're going to do when they get pissed off at you. Like if they might literally try to slap you, like put their hands on you and do something a little bit different. And like my man was saying in a video that I was watching, because we was kind of on the same vibe, he was like, man, as that escalates, you have to look at it from the opposite perspective or the opposite end. Heaven forbid you be the guy that hits a woman like that. Oh my God. So why would you allow a woman to do it to you? You dig? So I think about these things, and when I tell you guys that you have to set the boundaries and you can't let them get away with anything, I mean it. Anything that could potentially lead to manipulative or disruptive behavior in your relationships, whether they be casual or not, you have to correct that behavior in the beginning. My father was an advocate of this from Jump Street. Bro, you got to correct the behavior in the beginning. If you don't correct the behavior in the beginning, you'll let them get away with anything. And then when you try to correct the behavior after you've already let it happen, it's already too late. For you to try to sit there and make corrections in the relationship months in, instead of correcting them when they were happening on the spot, you're already at a deficit, because how is she going to take you serious when you've already allowed her to get to where she is right now? Best example I know is when you guys say yes to damn near everything a Filipina likes. Every single thing a Filipino likes. If you say yes to it or you get it for them, the minute you say no, what kind of reaction do you expect to get from them? And I mean women in general, but me, my content is more Filipino based, so work with me. But if you keep saying yes to everything, the minute you say no, what do you think is going to happen? What kind of response do you actually expect? What kind of response do you actually expect? She might cut a fool because she's not used to hearing the word no. Or she's not used to saying maybe next time, because you're so used to being the giver and all of that stuff. That kind of F's up the relationship too. Now, you gotta probably have a lot of the gentlemen in the chat talking about, yeah, that's only punk boys, that's only fuck boys that do things like that. And, that's not me, man. Alpha male this and alpha male that, beta male this, beta male that. But the way that I see it is, all relationships are give and take. All relationships are give and take, but there are certain things that you cannot give on. And there are certain things that you cannot fold on. There are certain things that you cannot bend upon. And the reason why I say that is, they refer to it as keeping your pimp hand strong. But the way I look at it is, if you don't know how to actually set the boundaries in your relationship, ladies and gentlemen, there is no way of knowing where the relationship could potentially go. And when I say that, I mean that in the worst way humanly possible. I know a lot of guys who are resenting relationships because they said yes to a lot of things, or, you know, the once nice, sweet, loving Filipina that they first got into a relationship with is now a fucking monster. All of a sudden, now it's like, okay, this is not the type of woman that I was in a relationship before, but this is what I would like to refer to you guys and tell you guys up front. That's what you created. You know what I'm saying? She didn't get like this on her own. She got like this because you allowed it to happen. You did not correct the behavior when it happened, okay? So that's usually my talking point for the moment, man. I just had to get that one off my chest. I know a lot of guys have been asking me recently about relationship situations and emails, and the common denominator is I just feel like a lot of guys aren't correcting the behavior when it happens. And when you fail to correct the behavior when it happens, what you have right now, to all those gentlemen who have hit me up in email, that's what's gonna happen. So if you ask me my God honest truth about what you should do, break up, let them go. If it's a casual thing, cut it off. At the end of the day, Filipinas are a dime a dozen. Beautiful ones are a dime a dozen, especially if you're actually in the country. So there's no need for you to actually settle in with one like that, especially if the behavior is not one that is up to par and up to standard. Now, a lot of guys don't have standards. We can say that. A lot of y'all don't have standards, or your standards are very low. So when your standards are down here, damn near everything she does will probably be something you'll allow her to get away with. Another topic for another day, but the way I tell my gentlemen from Jump Street, man, you got to have high standards for yourself. You got to have high standards for the women that you choose to date. You have to have high standards for the women that you choose to smash. And I say that with the utmost with the utmost respect. I was about to say disrespect. I say that with the utmost respect. You got to be picky and you got to be choosy, man. A lot of us aren't picky and choosy enough. Let me say that one more time. A lot of us are not picky and choosy enough. Then we lay up with the wrong one. Either we catch something or we end up giving them something. You feel me? AKA creating an offspring, just in case you didn't know what I was talking about. We end up with that lifestyle, you dig? So you just gotta be careful, guys. You gotta be careful, man. I gotta scratch my eye. We gotta be careful with who we choose to lay up with. Because again, who you associate yourself with, man, that's gonna tell a lot about you. And although you may not give two shits and a damn about what other people think, last thing you want to do is become a laughing stock, you dig? Gotta have higher standards for yourself and higher standards for the women that you choose to interact with and choose to hook up with and choose to actually be with. You understand? They gotta bring more to the table, ladies and gentlemen. And if they gonna cut a fool on you in the beginning, I don't care how bad she look. I don't care how fucking fine you think she is. She gotta go. She gotta go quick. Because that behavior is only going to get worse, especially if you don't correct it. If you correct it and she continues to do it, no doubt in my mind, she got to go. She only get one warning from me, and she should only get one warning from you, that that's not cool and that's not how you're going to vibe. She refuses to respect your request. Got to cut that off real quick, all right? Spend my time, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV, back again once again. That being said, Good Doc is officially out. At least nako paalam, which means I am going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Sincerely do. Mahal kita. Mabuhay. Peace.